Hey you guys, how are you all doing out there? I hope you are doing well and staying safe and healthy. My name is Ashley Ellix, and you might be coming to this video because you are just stuck in the house and you want to kind of figure out how to do your own nails because quite frankly, you're sick and tired of not having your nails and you're looking to this video. Or maybe you're just kind of curious about what goes on behind the scenes and how to create these gel extensions because my nails, these that you see right here, those aren't my nails. Those are completely built up with a gel builder polish. I use the ORLY Builder in a Bottle system, and I have now for, what month is it now? I think it's April. It's almost May. I think about 6 or 8 months, somewhere in there. Between August and October of this last year is when I started doing the at-home gel system, and I love it. Okay, I love it, but I have gone through a lot of trial and error, a lot of perfecting. With each and every set that I do, I get better and better. And this last set that I did, you guys, ooh, chef's kiss. I finally figured out the proper length for my nails, the kind of procedure that I like to do to kind of help the nails to last the longest, not snag, break, lift off, pop off, because I was having some troubles for the first rounds. And I think I finally narrowed down a good way to kind of show you guys a little tutorial of how I build up my nail gel extensions, and not acrylic, believe it or not press on, not glue on nails. These are actually gel nails. I'll also be sharing with you guys how I apply the gemstones onto my nails and the color that I used and all of those details and everything like that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And before we jump into it, I would love it so much if you would consider subscribing by tapping that little red button down below. That way YouTube knows that you want to get notified when I post more videos. But enough chit chat, enough jibber jabbing, enough talking with my hands. If you want to see how I created these gel extensions and went from little nubs to elongated length, that's weird, and you're in the right place, and all you need to do now is sit back, hang tight, keep on watching. Boop. Okay, so to start off, let me tell you what you need to have on hand. Get it? On hand, pun intended. Oh my goodness. Dad jokes. So what you need to have on hand before you begin, obviously, if you're doing the ORLY Gel Effects system, is the Gel Effects system. If you can find the box, that is great. I got this at my Cosmoprof, which is a professional store. I'm actually a licensed cosmetologist, so I can technically do nails, even though they didn't teach me very thoroughly. I have been able to figure it out kind of on my own, and I'm licensed, so I'm able to get this, and I can even purchase from the ORLY site. So if you're a pro, check there. If you're not a pro though, they have a smaller type of bundle available on the Sally Beauty's website, so check that out as well. Just slightly different, slightly smaller, but what you get in the bundle is the builder in the bottle, which is the main thing that you need right here for actually building your gel extensions. And then the nail tip primer, which you use before putting that on. It comes with a top coat, your perfect forms, which are what you use to help shape your nail, 2 different files, and I'll tell you which ones they are in a second. So this bundle is a great starter. All you would need is polish and whatever accessories you want to do that if you want some gems and stuff, but that's a good base. And then you would also need a light to cure your gel polishes and extensions. That is what I started with back in, I think it was October. Love the set, super awesome, love it. Check that out. I'll leave some links down in the bio so you can check it out if you don't have it yet. And if you're not able to get that bundle, here is what you need exactly. So I need these 2 different files when I do mine. This one is the more stronger type of grit. This is a 190 grit / 100, so it's pretty rough. This one's for shaping both my nails, and then the rougher side I use to shape the gel extensions in case I need to kind of clean up the edges a little bit, which I always do. I'm not perfect at it yet, but I'm doing pretty good. And then this nail file right here is a softer one. This one is just to gently buff the top to remove the shine. That way the gel extensions, the builder in the bottle, can actually stick better to my nail bed. And then I'm going to need some rubbing alcohol. I have the 70 isopropyl alcohol, some lint-free cleansing wipes. I don't like to use regular cotton because that can pull off and stick onto your gel, and I don't like that. So lint-free is key. You can pick these up anywhere, Amazon, everything. I like to push my cuticles back, so a little cuticle pusher. Obviously, if you need to clip your nails before you file them, you can have a clipper on hand. And obviously obviously you're going to need some nail forms. These are the Perfect Fit forms from ORLY Gel Effects, which comes in the kit, but you can also buy separately. And then if you can't get the set of the ORLY, you can get these ones individually, the ORLY Builder in a Bottle Gel and the Nail Tip Primer, or whatever brand it is that you want to use for the Builder Gel. And then of course you're going to need an LED curing light. I prefer LED versus the UV light because UV light can be a little bit more damaging on your skin, obviously. And then also those cure times are much longer, almost double the times that an LED light would be. So I've always used this Red Carpet Manicure Gel light. I've had it for years. It's going strong. I like it. I have this foil under it because it's really small. I put it on there just to give a little extra roundness, full circle of gel for curing light thing. And then whatever color of choice you're going to use, I'm going to use the ORLY Gel Effects nail system for my gel polish because it lasts just as long as the extensions. It doesn't peel or flake or anything, and it's a gel polish, so it's nice and sturdy. I'm going to use the shade Glow Stick today, as you guys probably have already seen, but I'm still trying to decide exactly what I want to do. I pulled out my white one called Point Blanc, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I'm just going to go with this one. So pretty much I'm just going to be using this. There's no base coat after I do the gel extensions, and then a top coat. Now you can use the regular top coat, especially if it comes in the box, but I picked up the matte top coat a couple sessions ago. This is a fantastic matte top coat. It stayed matte the entire time that I wore my last lavender set, which was, I think I got at least 4 weeks after that set, which was awesome. And then today I'm going to be using some gems, so I'm gonna have those on handy. I picked these all up on Amazon and I like them. They are good and they're super affordable. So I'll link these down below too. Love those. And then I use the Kiss Maximum Speed nail glue. This glue comes in handy. If you are new to the whole gel extension world or even nail gems, make sure you have one of these on hand, an extra one just in case your nail pops off, because that definitely has happened to me many, many times. And this last set was the first set that I had no breaks, no splits, no popping off. And that took about 6 tries for me to get it perfect. So having nail glue on hand is perfect, but today I'm going to be using it for the gems, so that's why I have it out here. And then of course have some kind of form of entertainment nearby, your TV, your phone, iPad, or something with Netflix or YouTube even ready to go, because this is going to take you a minute, especially the first couple rounds. It still takes me a while, not gonna lie, but the results are beautiful and they last me weeks, so I love it. Almost, I think the last one was a month. I'm losing track now. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Pro Zebra file, which we talked about, and I'm going to be shaping my nails. So they're pretty short. This one could probably use a trim, but I'm just going to file it. I'm just going to be shaping gently, not too much, just in a way that I want the nail to be able to grow out. If I leave them with jagged edges and stuff, it can cause snags and tears, and then your nail will eventually pop right off. And if you don't really know how to file, if you've always kind of wondered, you want to go with how your nails would grow. So on this side, I'm going to go up like this, and then this side up like this. But then when you come to the edge, you want to stay in the same direction. You don't want to go back and forth. That can cause a lot of damage to your nails and cause splitting. All right, now that my edges are all filed, I'm gonna take this softer buffer and I'm just gonna remove the shine from the nails, like I said earlier, just to kind of give the builder in a bottle something to adhere to better on my nails. You don't want them to be like, you know, oily or anything like that. And you need it to be nice and grippy, and doing a light file allows for that. You don't wanna do anything too rough, so definitely do not use the first file that we did, because that would be way too rough and it would thin your nails way too much. And then if you need to do anything like removing cuticles or anything, that's usually when I do it right now, but I'm not going to remove them. I'm just going to gently push them back, so that way I don't get any gel on them, and then it grows out kind of funny and it can make the gel polish and extensions lift more, so I just push them back. And then what I do is I go in and I scrape underneath with this clean scraping tool that I have, and I just make sure that there's no kind of dirt and debris underneath the nail, because this gel extension actually kind of goes underneath the nail a little bit to encase the free edge right here. The free edge is that little bit of nail that is white that hangs off and extends from your nail, and I also prefer to leave a little bit of that because it helps the sticker, you know, the little nail wrap, to go under your nail bed easier. So I just want to make sure that's nice and clean first. Okay, and now I'm going to take one of my lint-free wipes and some of this rubbing alcohol right here, and then I'm going to pour some of my rubbing alcohol on, and I'm going to just rub that onto the nail. That makes sure to get rid of any kind of dust that kind of collected from filing and removes any excess oils and stuff that might still be on the nails. Now that the nails are all prepped, the fun can finally begin. We can start sculpting our gel extensions. Prepping takes a second, but you have to do it or else your nails will just not adhere to the gel builder properly. So I'm going to take these perfect fit forms, and it's kind of cool because they can pop up just like this and you can pull them out. But since I need 10 of them, 10 fingers, 10 nails, 10 stickers, so I'm going to tear them all. That way I'm not fumbling around with that when I have the extensions going on. So I'm going to grab my first one here, and I'm going to have my Gel Effects Builder in a bottle handy. This is the product that's actually going to create the gel extensions, and I'm also going to have my nail tip primer handy. So after I put the sticker on, I'll put this on. I'm just going to peel the sticker off, leaving this little indent thing that's in the back right here. That's actually like to represent what your nail would be. Now for the shape of nail that I like a longer stiletto nail, which is that pointy nail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the front right here, pinch that to kind of create our first little point right there, and then pinch the end, and then I leave these little flaps open. That's what goes around your finger. And the one I like to start with is my index finger, and I start on my left side since I am right dominant. And then I'll stick it underneath the free edge, which we talked about. That's why I like to keep it a little tiny bit of length. It is really, really hard if my nail has like completely gone really short to get it on, to get the sticker onto my finger without it being painful. Not like severe pain, but like a pinching pain. So keeping a little bit of free edge really helps to secure the sticker and the gel extension. And then they give you little numbers right down the center of that sticker right there, that form. So I try to line it up as best I can to the middle of my nail. And then I push it right where that free edge starts. Just press it onto the skin of my finger, and then push these ones down together underneath. And then I don't secure the little tabs up there until I make sure that it's all positioned where I go. So I check down the middle, make sure that is as straight as I can get it so it doesn't look like shifted in any way. And then also make sure that it's not pointed up, like lifted up too far or pointed down too much. Try to make it as like level as you can so you don't have any curled or flipped or anything. Some people like them more curved. I like them to be straighter, and then I build a little bit of a curve with the gel extension product. So once that looks good and really snug, then I lay down the straps secured around my finger, and that is my first form put on. It is faster for me to do it when I'm not talking through it and, you know, doing the filming and everything, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna grab the Orly Gel Effects Nail Tip Primer now, give it a little shake, and then I'm just gonna be applying that onto the nail only. So grabbing my Orly Gel Effects Builder in the bottle, I'm gonna take that and kind of scrape off the sides. You don't wanna get too much. And what I'm gonna do is start right a little bit on to kind of like where that free edge is, or there's the very tip of your nail, just a few centimeters. And I'm gonna be drawing a line up to the number that I like to do. I like to go up to 4 and not past that. That has been like my perfect length, but obviously do whatever length you want and that you're comfortable with. And then I do my edges. So I'm kind of creating like a little C shape around the front of the free edge there. And I'm bringing the corners, the sides right up to that number. And then again on the other side. So just kind of sculpting my length with this part, not going all the way to the end, just doing the tip right here. And if it helps you, you can put your hand just like this while you sculpt it on yourself. I kind of go back and forth while I'm doing it. And if it's not absolutely perfect on the sides and stuff, don't worry, we're gonna be filing later anyways. The first few times I did it, man, they looked wonky when my stickers came off. But now that I've gotten kind of used to it, it's a little bit easier now to make sure it's smooth and rounded, and then I don't have to do as much filing. Now, even though it's clear, you can kind of see where you laid it down when you're in person. It's gonna be hard to see on camera. Now that that looks pretty good, I'm gonna flash cure it underneath my LED light for only 10 seconds. This is just to kind of secure it, not completely set it. And I have to lift this up because my wraps are so big and my light is so small. I do just lift up my light a little bit so that way it can fit, and it's totally been working. It's been fine. So now I'm gonna take the builder on the bottle again, and I'm just gonna put a light coating onto the entire nail, including the length that we just formed. Making sure not to get it onto my skin or the cuticle. Now you have that full coat on there. Don't cure yet. What you're gonna wanna do now is float a bead. And when they say that, what they mean is I'm gonna take my brush straight up without scraping the sides. And that is gonna create a nice pooling on the end of my brush in which I can float a bead onto there. I start right where the paper starts and the nail actually ends, and then I bring it down to the tip. If I need another dip, I do that. When it's a full fresh bottle, it's really easy to get a bead. So just like that, and then bring it down to the base of the nail. And just kind of go back and forth until I get like a little form. I can always check it by giving my view right where I look and see if that's a good arch onto my nail. And then I also like to float a bead onto the free edge area where the sticker starts and the nail ends. And I just noticed that kind of reinforces it, causes less breaking. I'm just kind of eyeballing it now. This heart part is kind of hard to show you since it's clear, but I'm just going back through and kind of checking, making sure that I like the thickness where it is. If it's too thick in an area, I can kind of push the product around. It's more liquidy than like poly gel and stuff, so you do kind of need to work with it, but it's not as thin as a regular gel polish. It's kind of in between, if you're wondering what the consistency is like. So I'm just gonna kind of push the product around until I'm happy with it. And then I let that kind of set for a second and float around. And sometimes I actually like to flip my nail over, so that way it kind of like gathers and pools down and then creates that nice smooth arch. And then I give it a little tap on the back of the sticker sometimes, and that kind of helps create a little arch. And then I just let it rest for a second and it kind of smooths out that way. That is the best trick that I have found, you know, just letting it rest and smooth out, because when I first did my nails, boy, were they lumpy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that looks perfect. I'm gonna flash cure it for another 10 seconds. They don't necessarily say to do this, but I always found one more coat is perfect. I don't have to do the bead float or anything. I'm just gonna coat it once more. I don't know what it is, but I just found that is perfect for me and the thickness that I like to have with the gel extensions. Cure that another 10 seconds. Now I'm going to repeat all steps on all my other nails. I'll zoom through this really quickly and jump cut to the next step that we'll be doing. So now that I have all of them on, they've all been flash cured that 10 seconds. Now I'm going to do one final cure before taking off the forms for 30 seconds. All right, so now I can remove the free forms, fit forms. Just first I lift up the little tabs, beep bleep blop, and then to remove them, I pinch right down at the base and pull them off, just like that. It is so satisfying to pop these off. It really, really is. All right, building of the gel is all complete on my first hand. So what I like to do before I move on to the next hand though and complete this step is I like to make sure that the nails aren't too flexible or too thin. The way that I do that is just to check going like this. If they bend at all, then what I'll do is I'll throw on one more layer of this and cure for the full 30 seconds. That way I know I'm good to go before moving on. But these all seem pretty good. I already checked them. So now what I need to do is grab my alcohol once again and some of the lint-free wraps and then go through and wipe off all of the sticky residue, because there is like a little tacky layer from the gel curing on there. So I'll remove that, then I'll go ahead and file, and then I'll do my other side. And then once that's all done, I can go ahead and apply the polish that I chose. All right, both hands are all complete with the extensions. So I already filed this side to kind of shape it up. So those are looking really, really nice. Now I need to kind of gently file a little bit, not too much, just there's like a couple little kind of, I guess, frayed edges, if you want to call them that. And then just to take them down a little bit, make sure they're nice and smooth, just like this side. So I'm going back to the very first one that I was using on my natural nails and going on to the rougher side and just gently shaping, going like this, kind of in the direction that the nail is, and just kind of eyeing it and bring it down to the shape and the smoothness that I like. And then because I want them a little bit pointed but rounded, just go along the point really gently. Make sure that's nice and rounded without being too sharp, or I'll poke myself. Now that these are all shaped up, I'm just gonna go back with that light buffer file and again take off the shine, because now I'm prepping to do my color. I would still recommend doing this even if you're just using regular polish, just because this step is going to help any kind of polish that you use, gel or otherwise, to just stick onto the gel extension a little bit better. I'm going to grab my rubbing alcohol again and then just remove all that dust that the filing created. Beautiful. Claws are all on now, and honestly you can leave them just like that. You don't even have to paint them if you don't want to. You could do like a clear coat on it just to seal it, or like I mentioned, you can go with regular polish or whatever your favorite gel nail polish brand is. I've been loving the ORLY Gel Effects brand since I got it. I switched over to using this because I needed a cruelty-free brand of polish to use, and ORLY is one of them, and I've been loving them. I've never had a problem with my nails shipping or anything, so the brand is just great. I love this gel polish. So I don't need a base coat or anything, and I'm going to use the shade Glow Stick like I mentioned at the beginning, and then I'm going to be using a matte top coat to set. Now they do have a regular top coat if you like a glossy finish like I mentioned. All I'm going to be doing is applying this onto my nails, easy peasy. I'll do a few coats of it, setting underneath the LED light between each coat for about 30 seconds. Look at that color. Wow. I'm gonna probably need to do a few coats of this though, because it's a little bit not clear, but kind of like if I just did one coat, it's a little more on the clear side. Now I'm gonna go in with the matte top coat and again cure for 30 seconds. All right, now the matte coat is all set, and to reveal the matte look of it, because it still looks glossy right now, you actually have to use the rubbing alcohol. So one more round of this. And that is with the matte top coat. How cool is this color? Wow, I love that. I love that, I love that. But we need to apply some gems now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one hand off camera, and then I'll do the other side with you guys. I'm gonna kind of come up with the design. It's kind of random and I gotta kind of concentrate and think about it, and then I'll do the other side with you guys. All right, I placed all my gems on. They're all glued on, and I'm really liking that so far. Looking really fun. So what I like to do, and I think the best route is, since it's kind of like randomized, I kind of had to figure out, it's hard to be like random but strategical at the same time. So I use like the bigger gems first, and then I kind of build the small ones around it. So I already laid out the big ones that I'm going to need to use, and I'm just going to replicate the same thing that I did on here onto this side, and then I'll place the little ones after that. So all I do is I work one finger at a time, and I'll place a little spot of glue where I'm going to pop in the gem. So right here I have this longer one. I'm gonna just grab that with my tweezers, and the tweezers actually came with the gems, so that's great. And I'll link everything down below like I said. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply all the larger gems first, and then I'll build around it. It definitely takes me a little while longer to do the first hand because I'm just laying things down before gluing and trying to figure out where exactly I want it to go. And the glue dries really quickly, so you want to act fast. And I'll do my thumb last because it's kind of like sloped. I don't want them to shift around while I do it. All right, now we go back to the first nail now and finish building from this little box here of the mini ones. All right, that looks good. And so the last one will be my thumbnail right here. I'm getting weird, you guys. I started this really late at night and it's midnight now. I'm tired, but I'm determined. I love these nails. And you know what? It's super therapeutic to just do your nails, pop on some TV, and just veg out and create. If you're wondering what I'm watching, I just restarted binging The New Girl, and I think I'm on episode 6 now, just to give you an idea of how long something like this can take, especially when I'm filming it. About 2 to 3 hours typically. So I want this finished drying for like a minute. It's not going to take very long. And then I'm going to pop on a little bit of matte top coat on this side. I already did this side just for a little extra seal. But if I was using gloss, I would use the gloss. You're going to have like, at least the glue that I use, I have a little bit of like a glue residue on the crystals that I laid down. But after like about I would say like a day, it all kind of comes off the top and the gems stay secure. I don't have a problem with the gems popping off now that I'm using the glue. Originally, when I first did this, I used, I don't know, one of these just ORLY Gel Effects top coats, and they did start popping off, and then I glued them back on, and then I noticed that when I glued them on, they stayed. When I used to do that back in the day, it wouldn't work, and the gel polish would stay, keep them on, but I don't know why. But I think the glue, this glue, keeps them on pretty well. Brushable glue would be a little bit easier than the dropper one, but this is what I have, so that's what I'm gonna use, and that is the game. That is the deal. All right, so there's the whole set of the ORLY Gel Builder in a bottle, and the gel polish, and the gems, and the whole thing. What a nail transformation, huh? It might not, ooh, a little gem there. It might not be perfect, but they're mine, and I like them. Okay, like I said, I'm getting weird right now. But no, really, I really like them. I feel like I've definitely, or I've not perfected it, but I've gotten a lot better. If you saw my first video where I first experienced these, boy almighty, I have come a long way. There's a couple little improvements I could have made, but you know what? It's looking pretty good. And yeah, nobody is none the wiser. The last set that I wore that was this, but like I did a lavender base, people thought I spent some good money on it, and you know what? I did not. And I like them. I enjoy them. They have lasted me, the last set lasted me a little over 4 weeks, I believe. And yeah, I'm really enjoying them. So there they are in all their glory. Hand model. Yes, yes, yes. Wow. Ooh, wow. Okay. All right. All right. So that is it, you guys, for my gel extensions that I like to do myself. And if you have any questions, if I missed anything, please drop them down in the comments down below, and I will try my best to answer them for you. But honestly, you know what? Practice makes perfect. Do not feel like you have to get it the first go around, or you will drive yourself mad. It's already tedious enough as it is. And I don't want to scare anybody off from this, because you know what? The results, once you get the hang of it, are awesome. I love these so much, and like I feel naked now when I'm not wearing them, but alas, I feel like myself again. It's been like 4 or 5 weeks since I actually had them on, and I missed them. I love them. Woo! And you know, like I said, the length might be a little too long for some people, but you don't have to do them this length. You can just use them to just thicken your nail. If you want to keep your natural nail, you don't have to do the forms, or you could just do whatever length you want. Do not be too scared. Do not be too intimidated, and you can try it out yourself if you would like. And yeah, that is it. If you want any updated nail videos in the future, please let me know that too. And if you want me to try my hand on doing like press on glue nails or anything like that, I can be your guys' little test subject, and let me know, and I'll try those out for you after this set wears off and wears down. And if you want to see any of that or any of the other beauty related videos that I do here on YouTube, I post 3 times a week, and I would love it so much if you hit that little red subscribe button down below and tap that bell. That way YouTube knows to notify you when I do post more videos. And yeah, that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hope that every single one of you out there, every single one of you, have a great, freaking awesome, wonderful, beautiful day.